Hey guys, welcome back to Ashley's Homestead Adventures, Arkansas edition. We are waiting for the rain to stop, and I decided that I would get my seed collection that I have sent here out and start looking at what I have and what I want to plant. We are going to start planting. I shouldn't say start planting. We're going to try to start planting everything. It is time. The 15th through the 30th is my last frost date here in north central Arkansas. So really it's time to plant all the things. And I'm super excited. I'm slightly overwhelmed because I've never had this opportunity. I've never had a garden in a place that I could plant all the things. I mean, okra and tomatoes and peppers and corn and I mean just all the things. So super excited, and I just kind of thought that I would set you guys up and talk to you a little bit about this year's plans while I finish sorting through what I have here. I brought a lot more than I thought I did, and I'm feeling a little sheepish right now because this is basically like half of my collection. I pretty much sent half of everything that I had to Arkansas and kept half in Oregon. And as I'm laying these out and realizing how many seeds I have, I'm feeling a little, I don't want to say guilty, but I'm feeling a little sheepish about how many seeds I've collected over the last couple of years that I've been really serious about gardening. But it is an ode to how serious I am about growing food. So there's that, and so yeah, I'm just going to kind of go through, and I will, set these out and let you know what I'm setting out, and then I'll let you guys take a look at the whole collection. So you can either be mad at me for hoarding seeds, or you can be proud of me for storing and shipping and hauling all of these seeds here. I'll let you decide. I mean, I'm actually, like, secretly inside, I'll share this with you, I'm kind of impressed with myself. If I can grow all these things, I'm on my way to being one heck of a gardener. So I'm just kind of dividing them up into what plant they are, and then when I go to plant them, I will divide them further into, what words are hard, people. What species? No, that's not right. What variety? There we go. What variety they are. Sorry, the washing machine just got angry. So, tomatillos, beets, cucumbers, here, Mexican sour gherkins. I'm going to put them with cucumbers because I'm excited. Cucumber, 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 cucumber. Those are all cucumbers. So one thing that I kind of wanted to, before I jump into planting and making videos in the garden and outside, I kind of wanted to explain to you guys what my idea is for this Arkansas farm for this year. I do not claim to be a master gardener whatsoever. The purpose of me making these videos is not necessarily to say that I know everything or anything about anything specific. It's just to take you along my journey. I feel like what we are doing is unique, and I feel like it's not as unique as it was when we first started looking into doing this. There's a lot of people that are doing this, that are jumping ship from the state that they're in and moving across the country. And now some of them are just moving, you know, across the mountain range. A lot of people in Oregon and my state are just moving across the mountain range. They're going from the big city life to more of a rural life. But there is a lot of people that are going from one state to a completely different state. And I feel like us, we're moving 2,100 miles to a completely different state that is, the growing season is completely different, the climate is completely different. And so, and we don't know anything about this climate. Mr. Wonderful has spent some time in this climate. I have not. So for me to say that I know anything about how these plants are going to grow would be a complete lie. I know how some of them grow in Oregon, but that's null and void at this point. So I've mentioned that before, that this is a learning experience for me, and the purpose of me turning on the camera and taking you with me is because I think that my life is fun, and I think that what I'm doing is really cool, and I want you to come with me and go through my failures and successes. And I am honored that you do that. I appreciate you watching and laughing with me and crying with me sometimes, because this is one heck of an adventure. So, back to the garden. My main purpose this year for what I'm doing in the garden is 100% experimental. I am going to try to plant all the things, but I'm not planting them from start. So for instance, like the ones that pop up in my head, tomatoes and peppers. Ideally, I would have started those 8 weeks ago and grown them up, potted them up probably once, maybe twice, and then put them in the garden. I didn't have that opportunity. I don't have a greenhouse here in Arkansas. With us going back and forth, I wasn't going to be here every day to tend to them and baby them and take care of them the way that they deserve to be taken care of. So, I am planting them by seed in the garden. Will I get a harvest? I think so, yes. But will it be a mess? Probably. Will I have some failures? Absolutely. But everything that is going in the garden, as far as my vegetable garden goes, and a good portion of my flowers, all my herbs, it's all going in as seed. And we're going to see how it goes from seed. So I just wanted to put that on the front end. This is going to be an experimental from seed garden that, on top of all of that, it's also going to be highly neglected. We are back and forth, and so therefore it's not going to be tended to every day. I'm not going to be able to be out there and be pruning my tomatoes like I'd love to. I'm not going to be able to go out and pick the squash bugs off my squash, or if we get a weird freeze or a hailstorm or something like that, I may not be able to go out there and cover them and protect them. So this garden is not, we're not dependent upon this food to nourish ourselves. This garden this year is experimental to see what grows, how it grows, and what it does in a neglected state. That will give me an idea of what's possible with me being here 100% of the time. Now I'm going to grow a garden in Oregon as well, and it will be a lot of the same. It'll be a lot of, I'm going to be there sometimes and I'm not going to be there sometimes, so prepare yourselves for a lot of experimental failures, but also some astonishing successes. And so I'm just really excited to see what this garden will do and what I am capable of. This is also it's also a huge workload for me. So and I don't want to say that to shed negative light on it. It's just more than what I'm used to. So chances of me getting in over my head are very high, and I am okay with that because I just want to see the beauty and the joy of growing all these things and seeing what they can do and what they do from seed, so that in the future, going forward in the upcoming years, when I am able to start them and in a greenhouse and then plant them out where my success is so much higher, I'll have an idea of what I'm dealing with. So just wanted to put that on the front end for you guys so that you kind of knew that I am aware this is not an ideal situation, but at the same time, I feel like it's really important for me to show this to you because there's a lot of people doing this right now. There's a lot of people moving to places that they've never grown in. There's a lot of people that are moving and looking for a more sustainable spot and a more sustainable lifestyle. And I really want to be a part of that. I really want to be a part of this community that is upcoming and in some places even established, where we are going back to being homesteaders. We're going back to being more sustainable. And there's a lot of people that are doing this that are even behind me. I am new in the last 3 years of growing my own food, that's pretty new. There's a lot of old timers out there that I would love to sit down and have a cup of coffee with. But there are people that are even behind me that are just starting to think about doing this, that this is just a dream in the back of their mind like it was for me 3 years ago. And so I want to put out videos that show where I'm at now in this process, where it's messy, where it's hectic, where it's hard work, and show them that this is possible, and also give them the inspiration to do it. Plant the seed, grow all the things. If you wonder what a garden's going to look like in a place that you're moving, then prepare your garden, however you want to do that. Now I'm doing no-till gardens here, I'm doing raised bed gardens here, I'm doing tilled gardens here. I'll show you, I do have a video coming out of the flop of the tilled garden. Don't rent a backyard rototiller to till an established pasture. It doesn't work. But anyway, I want to give them the inspiration to just do it. Put the seeds in the ground. Prepare your soil. Put out whatever amendments you can get your grubbies on, and throw the seeds in the ground and let them grow. And now, yes, you might have pest pressure. Yes, you might have, frosts that come in and kill your plants. Yes, you might have weeds that take over your garden, and you're like, oh my God. But you're also going to have harvest. You're going to have harvest, you're going to have experience, you're going to have beauty, and you're going to have nourishment. And I just got tingles right there because I'm excited, and I'm so excited to share this with you and so excited to just see where this goes. I'm jumping off the deep end here. I'm going to show you this table of seeds and and show you what I plan on putting in the ground and letting it roll. And I'm just going with the flow, folks. Just going with the flow and loving every minute of it. It's a beautiful, wonderful experience. I'm blessed to be able to do this. I'm blessed to have 2 farms across the country from each other. And I'm growing food. And that excites me. So, maybe it stopped raining and we can actually get something done. So here it is, you guys. Here is the table of madness and wonderful things. Beautiful things, edible things, nourishing things. So, I have it all, like I told you, I have it all divided out. From the top we have celery, we have bok choy and pak choy, cabbage, leeks, strawberries, parsnips, turnips, kale, and Swiss chard in the same pile. Rutabagas, kohlrabi, broccoli, cauliflower, cucumber, asparagus, fennel, onions. I already have a bunch of onions started, and I started them from seed. I started them from starts, and I started them from sets. I have corn, carrots. I put my flowers all in one pile, and I only have a few of them. I have some balsam and some poppies and some phlox. Collards, okra, beets, radishes. All my herbs are in one pile. I'm going to separate them out and plant them. I'll plant obviously more of cilantro, more of basil than, say, oregano. We don't use a ton of oregano, so I'll separate those out, and then my tea herbs are also in there. My lemon balm, my catmint, and then moving on, tomatillos. I've got all my winter squash in one, all my summer squash in one, all of my melons, and that includes my, your honeydew, watermelon, cantaloupe. All my peppers are in one. Tomatoes had to take up 2 piles, of course, because I love tomatoes. Eggplants, and then my leafy greens. I put my spinach and my lettuce and my mustard greens and some of the oriental greens that I have. So there they all are.